You are now watching Rhythm Muse Podcast with your host, singer-songwriter Monique Wilson. This show is all about displaying the talents of up-and-coming music artists, local and worldwide, giving them a chance to talk about their new projects, their music journey, and so much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Rhythm Muse Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. You know who this is. It's your one and only Monique Wilson here. Welcome to another great episode of Rhythm Muse. I wish I had a banner here so I could just point up and do it. I'm going to ask about that. But welcome to Rhythm Muse, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. If you have not already, you know what I'm about to say. Go look at my other videos. Don't look at this one. Go look at some other ones. Just do it. If you want to be on my show, you know what the deal is. You DM me at I am.Monique Wilson. Or if you want to promote your business, small, large, whatever, I don't care. Also promote it at I am.Monique Wilson. Boom, right there, right in front of you. Right. So tonight we have another guest. You know, all my guests are special to me. You know, I say this every show. So I'm going to call my special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the screen the one and only Grammy. How are you? Good. So before we get started, tell them about yourself. Tell everyone about you.
All right. I go by the name Grammy. I've been making music for a couple years, actually. I haven't really been doing it as long as people claim or think I've been doing it. I just started doing it like 3 years ago, if that. But I've always been like a music enthusiast, of course. But that was just me listening to music. And then a couple of years ago, I was like, somebody was like, as much music as you make, it's crazy how you don't make any. As much music as you listen to, it's crazy how you don't make any. So I was like, all right. Then I just kind of shoved it to the side. But then eventually I started making my own. But I always kept it to myself. And then I did that for like a year or so. And eventually I started it was for me writing music to myself to writing music lyrics for other people that were more confident in showing their music. And then eventually I got comfortable enough to do it myself. And I started making my first CD 3 years ago. From there I just went up. I just didn't look back type.
Wow, you have been doing a lot. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So, for the name Grammy, where did that come from? Where did that?
You know, it's crazy. That name, like when I made my first song, like crazy enough, I didn't start making music here. Like I'm African, so I started making music back home in Africa, and over there, my producer was like, basically he kind of gave me the name. I didn't even have a name. I wasn't that creative to think of one, but he gave me the name, and I just ran with it. Like people always come to me about it. Either they really really like it or it's really really corny. But me, it's I'll be like, don't worry about it. Eventually, you gonna get hip to the name type of thing. That's if I don't change it, because my name is kind of the last thing on my mind right now. It's all about the music to me. But as long as you know me by how you know me, that's what really matters. Type of thing.
So would you count yourself as an international artist?
International, like if we like when it comes to like labeling yourself as an international artist, I feel like people weigh heavily on the musical aspect. Like somebody like Drake right now will probably be considered international just because he's made all types of music, like both here and there. But me personally, I don't think I'm an international artist. I do have like aspirations of growing my art and becoming one eventually. But at this very moment, no, like people outside of the, like I have listeners outside the country, but it's not like everybody looks at it as just hip hop or American music. If you go outside the country, you'll see that a lot of them just look at it as American music. So I don't think I'm there yet, but the progress is coming.
Well, you are. I'm captured as international, but that's just me. So, Africa's a continent. So, what part are you from? Because I'm interested now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm Nigerian, born in Nigeria and everything.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. All right. Well, I don't even know what to say there.
Yeah, yeah,
um
it'd be like that. No, nobody will ever guess it, like unless I say something. And even
no,
when I say something, they don't believe it either.
really. What?
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
That that's another story. So,
Yeah.
what made you want to get involved with music?
Um. Well, yeah. Like growing up, when I first started listening to music, like my first favorite rapper ever was Eminem, right? And that was back in like, that was a while ago. Like I was in like middle school, like middle school, and then eventually I kind of grew old, got sick of Eminem, to be honest with you. And then that was when Drake was starting to like pop for real, and then I started fucking with Drake, and then eventually I was like when I looked at Eminem and looked at Drake, I was like, okay, Eminem fell off to me. Like I was like, I didn't want to be that type of artist where my fans will only love me now, and then later on somebody come along and they hop onto their wave. But then I started to stick with Drake because as each year progressed, he just got better and better and better and better. He just got better, and I was like, yeah, that's the type of person I want to be like. So when I started listening to him, eventually I started writing to his beats. Started, you feel me, trying to like memorize his cadence, you feel me, until I started to develop a sound of my own type of thing. But yeah, if you was to ask me like who made me start, I can definitely tell you Drake is one of those people. What made me start is like my overall ambition and like my hunger, because like I've been through a lot of shit in life, and the only thing that got me through it was music. Even if it's just listening to it, like taught more of me creating it. Like I'm the type of person where if I go through something, I won't create or make nothing to it right then and there. I gotta go through it, and months gotta go by before I finally like decide to tap into that side or that story. So like whenever like people used to always ask me like who I be talking about in some of my songs or what I be talking about, I be talking about somebody, but the person's already like gone. Like they don't exist in my life no more. Like so it's like had they still exist, I probably would not have gotten out of that. Like even if it's situation wise, person wise, it don't matter. Like I'm not the type to like write music on shit that I'm currently dealing with. I wait till I get through it and then I go back to it as like a testimony type of thing.
That's smart. So, you did mention that you started to create your own sound. How would you describe your sound?
To be honest with you, I'm not even 100% there as far as like my own sound being established, but I can definitely say if you want to like, and you can consider it prideful or cocky, but as far as Baltimore is concerned, I don't think nobody's messing with me on that level, whether it's lyric wise, sound wise, and that's why I feel like that's what keeps me going. The fact that I know that like you can put me up against anybody, clout aside. Even though my clout is growing a little bit, but clout aside, you can put me up against anybody. So when when I first started making music, people used to always be like, I sound like this, I sound like that. And I hated that. Even up till now, people still be like, I sound like J. Cole or Drake. And I, with all due respect to them, I appreciate that, but I don't want to like be under their shadow type of thing. Like I want to be like when time comes and I actually make it out type of thing. Eventually, I want them people that come up after me to be like, "Oh, you sound like Grammy," instead of you sound like Drake or you sound like J. Cole type of thing. So the whole thing about finding a sound, that's probably the hardest part of music. Like the hardest part of art in general with creativity is finding your own unique lane. And like mine, I would definitely say it's probably like a combination of a lot of people put together. Not necessarily my own sound yet, but it's a lot of people put together.
Oh wow. So you got a question down here from Ashley Collins. Do you think without pain we wouldn't be creative?
Without pain, that's a good question. I think, yeah, definitely. Without pain, you wouldn't, because like what I feel like when it comes to the word creativity, like there's so much that goes into it. Like there's one aspect where it's just you being relatable to other people. That's a form of creation. And there's other aspects where like you're just living in the moment type of thing. Like think about all these rappers that were good for like 15 minutes and then they left type of thing. And they didn't really. I feel like my type of music is the type that like will leave a stain because of how much people can relate to it if they're going through things that I go through type of thing. And when and that's when I feel like you're considered an artist or creative because like the music is timeless. Like 15 years go by, you're still listening to the music because pain is inevitable and it's forever. Like people will always go through pain. People will always relate to the type of music you make if you make that type of music. But not to knock off people that like mumble rap or nothing like that. If you just all about getting the money, then you feel me, get your bag. But if you're all about like portraying the shit you go through and like with the aims of encouraging others to get through it as well, then that's when creativity all comes into play.
That's very true. So, what part about being an artist do you like the most and why?
Part about being an artist do I like the most? I feel like I'm in my own skin and world when it comes to that. Like nobody can tell me nothing type of thing. Like I feel like I make my own rules. I do what I want to do. If I want to sing tomorrow, I can sing tomorrow. Even though I'm not the best singer, you feel me? But I'm working on that. But like when it comes to music, it's just like I don't know. Like I can go like if I'm like sick and tired of everything and don't feel like being like in the house, I just use music as an escape, bro. I'll hit my producer up like, yo, I'm trying to like book a session, you free type of thing, and that's where I feel like that's what really like stands out to me because in everything else, I don't have that edge like I do in music. Like even if it's just a day to day job, I'm still like the same to everybody else. I'm still probably considered just a number, just there to be there. They can replace me tomorrow if they wanted to. Like even if like with anything else, but when it comes to music, I just feel like that's when like the creativity and me trying to produce my own sound comes into play because there's not too many people like me or people that are like me. There's not too many others. Like we're a rare breed type of thing.
Okay, so like way before you mentioned that in Baltimore no one has touched you when it comes down to music. You say you can sound cocky or whatever the case may be. I
Yeah,
call it confidence, but how did you manage to gain that? Let
that
me know.
confidence.
Let me know. So I can be on your level. Let me know. Give me
Remember
some
when I remember when I told you how like when I first started, like I wasn't even confident enough to like let people even read my lyrics.
mhm.
That alone took me forever. Like because when I first started, I was that's when I started being like when I first started rapping. Period. I was always on that deep conscious type of rap. Not too many people like that. Not too many people. Not that they don't like it, but they don't make time for it. Like people are always looking for music where they can hop in the car, turn that shit on, and vibe with it as they drive type thing. You couldn't really do that with my old music. And that alone kind of like, it was a plus and minus for me as far as like, it didn't give me too much confidence because nobody listening to me type of thing. But it did give me like the hunger and ambition, like, okay, you're not listening to me, I'm gonna really sit up here and find a way for you to listen to me type of thing. So when I dropped a regular with Abstract, that was kind of my way of like stepping out of that.
It's on fire.
Yeah, kind of my way of stepping out of that soft side, like. And not only that, but because of the confidence I got in myself, I feel like I can do anything when it comes to music if I put my mind to it. As far as like the whole hip hop thing, whether you want me to come in on some soft like conscious rap or like some, you feel me, turn up stuff or anything, like I can do that. So I hit Abstract up. I was like, bro, like, because Abstract makes the type of like conscious music, but he can go off too. So I was like, all right, bro, let me and you actually go off type thing. Let's go off. Like they know we good on like the whole like being conscious and being like woke, but let's go off and just vibe real quick. So he was like, bet. So I sent him the beat, and I was like, originally that song I wasn't even planning on dropping a verse to it. I was planning on just doing a hook, like coming up with a hook and giving it to him and somebody else to rap. But then we got to the studio and he sent me his verse, and I was like, bro, ain't no way, like that nigga, he really pushes a different side out of me. I was like, there's no way I'm ready to sit up here and let him get a verse and me not go off like this. So I was like, all right. You feel me? That's like the competitive nature in me. I'm sure he has the same type of energy. So I was like, all right, cool. I kept writing. He picked me up on our way there. I'm still writing. I still couldn't come up with too much. So I got to the booth and I was like, all right. Let me just play the beat real quick. Let me freestyle a hook real quick. Let me just see what I can do. I came up with the hook. And then from there, I just started like writing and punching in as I went, and we just came up with the verse. And then when we finished, we was like when he hopped in to record his, I was like, bro, this is the one. I feel like this is the one. Lo and behold, it came out to be the one. So then when that came out, I was like, okay, I'm ready to drop a whole album showing how I can like step out of my comfort zone type of thing and be on that go hard type of thing. And that's kind of what I did.
Well, let me tell you something. Irregular, that, you know what, I'm going to say that to the end because that's the very last song. That's actually like the music video. I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. But he came out with an album called Pressure You Can't Smoke. We got two songs, one music video. We're going to start off the song with album mode. We're going to play that song right now.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back. Hey, nice balance. Waking up way after 6 in the evening, every day wondering where does the day go. I just be hearing them say they gon' do shit, but I still be laughing. I mean, if you say so. Turn up the heat when I get in the zone like a microwave. Keep that shit running all day though. I know some robbers that got all the choppers. I know some. Let me not say too much. Give me a belly and bring all the bitches with Henny. It still wouldn't feel like it's plenty. I couldn't count on my fingers the people that stay through the problems. It isn't too many. Bitches want niggas with money and don't got no money. It still doesn't really affect me. I'm trying to figure out why the Lord sent me. Nigga, you say you about that shit, what happened to that? That shit doesn't scare me, especially now that these rappers have made it a habit of that. Just tell me whenever you graduate, you know you gotta get noticed for capping like that. You're shorty up front with me, keeping me company just while a friend take a nap in the back. Yo, me and the music be talking and really be asking me why I be snapping like that. Why niggas is living off line about killers and dealers, we really be dealing with shit. Like how we gon' make all this money legit? Like all that I wanted to do was to find me a reason to live. Now I'm the one lit. I guess that it took them a minute to see I'm a candle that you couldn't blow out a handle. Stepping on niggas with sandals. Didn't they tell you I come to the booth with the ammo? My people ain't think they would see me on TV. Now they don't be fighting about changing the channel. I gotta fill up the gas and I get in the car, man, I'm hitting the road to $1 billion. I got a talent when it comes to sense and the jealousy. I got no problem with shooting it down with Berettas. These bitches are really finesse if you let them. The game finna think I'm annoying, cause I'm really never gonna let her. That boy ain't regular, I'm tryna tell you, man, that boy is stellar. Fed up with niggas is thinking we fellas. I know some rappers is begging to hop on the album. I tell them just give me a second. Waking up way after 6 in the evening, every day wondering where does the day go. I just be hearing them say they gon' do shit, but I still be laughing. I mean, if you say so. Turn up the heat when I get in the zone like a microwave. Keep that shit running all day though. I know some robbers that got all the choppers. I know some. me not say too much. Give me a belly and bring all the bitches with Henny, it still wouldn't feel like it's plenty. I couldn't count on my fingers the people that stay through the problems, it isn't too many. Bitches want niggas with money and don't got no money, it still doesn't really affect me. I'm trying to figure out why the Lord sent me.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
Yeah.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe. So, for the name Pressure You Can't Smoke, you already know my question. Where?
Where? Bro, you know, it's crazy. When I was thinking about, like, I started, like, back in January making an old project. And when I was thinking about it, I never came up with a name. Never could come up with a name. And then somebody was like, well, not somebody, but in my head, I was like, what do I come up with? And I was like, I said something like, this, all of this is pressure, you feel me? But then I was like, you could smoke pressure, so that's not good enough. But then I was like, fuck it, let's do pressure, you can't smoke. Like, this is pressure, but you can never smoke it type of thing. And that was how I came up with the name.
Did anyone else like gave you an input on album names or this name, or was it just like all you? Like,
it was all me. Not a lot of people even know I was coming out with an album, except for the people that were on it. Until like towards the end, when I already made the album cover and made the name and everything. So by then it was like, there's nothing you can tell me. There's no going back type of thing.
Mm-hmm. So, like, does the album mean something personal to you?
Very much. Like, I feel like the album just, it's really me at my current state of mind right now. That's just what it is. From the positive to the negative, from the good to the bad. If you notice, I start off on some real, like, turn up shit, and then towards the second half, I get real personal, real into it type of thing. So, yeah, it's both sides of me type of thing when it comes to music and just in life in general.
So, off script, did music like run through your family, whether it was back home or here, or was it just like
Nobody. I'm the first breed. Nobody.
Really? Oh, he the first one to do it.
Yeah.
He's so the first one to do it. So, what did you enjoy most about putting out the album? Uh-oh. Mm-mm-mm. He will be right back.
All right, we're back. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What did you enjoy most about putting out that album?
The anticipation. Like, I already knew I had people that, like, my listeners alone already had faith in me and coming out, like, and not disappointing type of thing. So that was I already knew that was gonna be it. But then it was like, you know, you had that little slight thing in the back of your mind telling you, what if they don't like it? What if it's not good enough? Like, what if you flop type of thing? And I kind of fed off of that alone, like just that alone. And I was like, bro, like, there's no way. It's too much anticipation. It's too much build. It's too much. It's just too much. I can't let this down. I can't let myself down. I can't let nobody down type of thing.
But did you get any negativity from the album, or was it just like?
You feel me? I'm the type where I love negativity, as far as, like, I love to, like, if I ask you and you really don't like it, please let me know type of thing. But not, I have a lot of people that when they don't like it, they still say they like it just to support me, which I appreciate. But if there was any negative vibes to it or anything, I'm not aware of. Like, everybody loved it.
But did you expect this album to blow up like it did?
No, not at all. Like, to be honest, when I make music, I don't necessarily make it for. I make it for the world, but they're not my first thought in my head. My first thought is my listeners, like the people that's been with me from the jump. Like the people that's been listening to me when I made my first song up till now, my close friends, my close people, like, and everyone else that listens to it from there, that's a plus. But when it comes to them, I make sure that they are satisfied with it and they hear it. And if they hear it and they love it, they send it out to the people that they think should hear it. Type of thing.
Well, what was your very first song?
My very first song.
Your very first song.
My very first song. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little embarrassed because I didn't really like it, but that's how it be. You start off trash. But my first song is "See Us." Like "See Us." That was my first song, and it came on an EP. Like I dropped a whole EP, like 5-song EP, and then that song is so old. Like you still hear my accent and everything. Like.
But what made you not like it? Because
it's just me. I guess it's just the other side of me as far as like how much growth I had. Like, you know, when you first start doing something and then you get so good at it, you look back and you wouldn't bet on your old work, you bet on your new work because of how much better you've gotten type of thing. So I wouldn't necessarily call it like trash, but I just call it like, if you look at that, you look at this now, you don't see the growth. Like, it's a huge difference, positive.
Okay. So, hard question. If you can narrow it down to 3 songs, only 3.
Oh, man.
3 songs of that album do you like the most and why?
All right, let me exclude Irregular. Is that cool?
No. Okay, fine. Yes.
All right. Excluding Irregular, right? All right. One of them is No Gloves. And that's just simply because of how it came about. Like I didn't like when I first made it, I wasn't even planning on doing nothing with it. But then I kind of went in there and was like, let's just have fun type of thing. Let's not be too serious or too calculative or not overthink on a song. Let's just go in there and just vibe type of thing and freestyle type of thing. So I did that, and then I sent it off to Prince Key, and he came back with it, and I was like, okay, this is complete now. Because when I made it, I never really saw it as a complete song. I just never saw it as like a song that could go places with it because of how like nonchalant and laid back we were on it. But then, like once you hear the beat, you just know it's like, okay, all right, let's see how that's really go. And at the end of it, you love it. My second one is Who Better Than. Because on that one, I got real cocky on that one. Like I started dragging on that one. Like, and that's kind of like originally that was supposed to be the intro, but then I was like, and originally when we were making it, okay, I did have one person in my ear telling me how to go about the album as far as like the layouts, like which songs should come and stuff like that. So when I sent it to him, his name is Louis Otto. Like I don't know if you know him, but his name is Louis Otto. I look at him as like kind of my mentor type of thing because he's been doing this for a while. He's been this is my first album, so I wanted to look at him and see like what do you think I should do with it. So I sent him the original track list. The original track list was Who Better Than was number 1, and Irregular was the last song. Just because of it, I wanted it to be like a bonus song because people already heard it, and I wanted to start off with something people never heard. But then he was like, "You should make that your first song because of how good it's doing." 1, 2. If they have heard it, they can just skip it and move on to the next one. If they haven't heard it, they can be hip to how good it is. And if they have heard it and still love it so much, they still wouldn't skip it regardless. So that's just a plus, plus, plus. So I was like, oh, I never thought of it that way. So that was how I made that one number 1. So Who Better Than is another one. Okay. My third one is Bone Energy. That's my third. That one simply because, like when I made that song, like I was at my lowest point and like type of thing, like mentally, everything. Like things with fam wasn't good. Things were like it was just a terrible place for me. And I was like, and I was surprised. That's the only song I ever made where I'm going through it and liking it. And I was surprised I could come up with that because I don't even know how I did that, to be honest with you. Like at first, I kind of mixed it with everything. I mixed it with problems I was having with relationship-wise, problems I was having with my fam, with my life in general, with my future. It's a whole car crew going through
It's fine. Let them live. Let them live.
Yeah. It's not even a car crew. It's the whole little tricycle thing with the lights.
Let them live. But I get it. So how can I ask this? What is your personal, there we go. What is your personal goal, or what do you gain from when you create music?
That's a good question, because when I first started, it was about, I'm not gonna lie, it was about just getting money. I wanted to like feed myself type of thing, and I wanted it to happen now. Like I want to go, like I'm starting making music yesterday. I want to be doing it by tomorrow. Then I started to realize that I'm good at it. So then, as I started to mature and making better music, that's when I started to think, let me just let it be heard type of thing. Like let me just put it out there for the world to digest. Eventually, if it's real enough, I'll get both the money and the recognition and all that. Like, I'll get everything together if it's real enough. And it can only be real enough if you keep putting in the work type of thing. But it'll only get better if you keep practicing. So when it comes to like sports and anything, like, you never want to just think about the personal gain of the difference. The difference goes farther than it. You can make as much money as you want. You can make as much just as you want. Money is good, you feel me? That's plus, but like the difference is also like very key.
Okay, so for this album specifically, did you plan on putting it out at a certain time, or was you just like, as soon as I'm done, I'm dropping it?
I plan on putting it out in a specific time, simply because, like, when I dropped the regular as a single, and when we dropped it, I think we dropped it back in March or something like that, and then we started shooting a video for it in May, and then I was like, let me see how long it takes for the video to come out, and then I was like, no matter what, the album is coming after the video, because if we put it before the video, it's going to be like you drop the single, then you drop the whole album. And what if there's other songs on there that people like more, and you want to see the video too first before, and then you come and drop the video. So I was like, let's get the regular up and out the way, somebody that can buy itself, off the strength of itself. And then when the album drops, then you can put a regular on there, and you can just do it off of that. Like if you just watch the video and you wanted to be like, yo, let me see what else this guy got in store. Like, let me see. Like, I can't just fuck with him based off of one song. Let me go see what else he got. Type of thing. Had I just dropped the video and waited forever to drop the album, they would just be living off the strength of that video. Then drop the album too. It's like, okay, I like this. Let me go check the album, see how that is. But eventually, like, everything all kind of like was delayed because I was going to do personal things. But I personally wanted to drop the album, the video, and the album all before my birthday, which was May 11th. But I kind of saw that as impossible. So I was like, all right, let's be more realistic here. I don't want to rush it. Let's see how this goes, type of thing. Take our time, get through everything. Make sure everybody else that's on the album doesn't feel rushed or pressed to like get it done ASAP. So let's give it a little time. So then I was like, people were already starting bothering me about it. Like they weren't bothering me, they were like on my ass. They was like, bro, you're not ready to bluff. Like you gonna drop this. I'm the type to like come up here, like album drop, single drop, album, you won't hear from me for like a month. So they was like on me. They was like, nah, we won't get that. We won't get that. So
it was Bobby for your album.
Yeah, it was on me. So I was like, all right, you got that. And then you can't disappoint either, too. So I like, see, this is the type of pressure I love. Like I live off of this pressure. You can't smoke, like the pressure. So then, long story short, we was like, all right, the video dropped. I don't remember exactly when it dropped, but I think it dropped like the end of May or something like that. And I was like, okay, great. Let's finish up the album, and we'll come up with a date like in a month time.
Mm.
And next thing you know, I was like June 26th because it's random, and I think it was a Thursday or a Friday. So, and it was just random, like just off the strength of like on some like random shit. So then we was like, let's drop it on a Thursday or Friday, one of those two. It's near the end of the week, and people would just vibe out to it. And as soon as I dropped it, it started doing numbers. So
Not only did you tease people about dropping the album, then you dip off for a month, but then you drop the album when no one notices it, and then you dip off again. Am I getting that correctly?
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. Like, to be honest, like if you know me personally, I'm not really the outside type of person. Like the only time I go out is when it comes to like going to the studio, going like or work. Other than that, I'll be chilling in my own lone type of thing. So when we shot the video, he actually got me to come out the house because I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. And it went perfectly. And I went right back to the house, started creating more shit to put out. Like currently as we're speaking, I'm already focused on the next project whenever I decide to drop that. But I do have a video on the way very soon for a song on one of the albums that I don't want to say yet because I want that to be like a surprise type of thing where I duck off and then pop out with the video again.
You know what? That's fine. Would you count yourself as an introvert?
Yeah. I'm an introvert. I'm definitely an introvert. I stay to myself a lot.
Would you count yourself as an extrovert sometimes?
Yeah, but yeah, I'm more so an introvert though, definitely, because I feel like if I wasn't so into myself, I wouldn't make the type of music I make. Like as far as allowing too many outside forces in, I feel like that's like when I'm in my zone type of thing, I don't want nothing to interfere with that. And I don't want if it comes out bad, I don't want to have to blame nobody but myself type of thing. So like when I started doing the album, I started it in January. I was in the house like forever. Like I wasn't out. Like people didn't catch me outside like that. And then towards the March when I dropped the regular, that was when I was like doing like beast mode type of thing. Now it's like locking in type of thing. And that was when I kind of was like my most introverted self.
Wow. So what was the most challenging part about putting it out? If there was any challenging parts of that?
Most challenging parts, like certain songs on there where I stepped completely out my comfort zone, where like people never heard that side of me before, and it's like I don't know how they're gonna take it. I don't know if they're gonna embrace it or reject it type of thing. Like songs like Lonely Interlude, songs like Explanations, where I got a little like deep and like explicit as far as my relationship problems, like past and current. Songs like Problems, songs like On the Line. That one was the song On the Line, that was the most uncertainty I've ever had in the whole creative process ever. Like, because I don't know, the beat was cool. I kind of vibed to the beat. So I was like, all right, this is going to be cool. Mm-hmm. But then when it came to like that one, I really sat down and like wrote to it. Like I didn't really play around. I didn't freestyle. I didn't vibe to it. Like that one was more so like me getting off my chest, like the ties I didn't cut, like my life in general, like shit like that. So when I made that was where I was like, bro, like I don't know how they're gonna take this. Like, I don't know if they're gonna like it. That's why I kind of put it towards the end. So it's like, if you don't like it, just skip it. But then again, I was like, I need to put this on there because people do need to hear that. Mm-hmm. People who do appreciate that and do vibe with music like that. So that was the hardest part, like just putting the songs together and like seeing which song I felt like would be a good fit for the album, because I still have songs that I never put on, just sitting on the side, and I probably won't ever put out. I probably like bury it just to show, like just to see like how much better I get from those songs that didn't come out, type of thing. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So we got one more song. I can't math. Okay, anyways, we got one more song, one more video. So we're gonna play Still Around for you guys, right?
Yeah. True. This'll never be the same, shit is different now. No. You been acting different now. You say this a marathon, you don't want us giving out. Silly me for thinking you can stick around. You know how it goes, shit to go around and come around. Yeah. Either way, I'm still around. Where you think you're going, really thinking that you moving on. But fuck it, whatever happened is really whatever. She really tripping for thinking she really coming, but for this cheddar. Come on now. She didn't know no better, I get it. I'm cooling on all the women that never could make me better. Real shit. You looking good, but your money ugly, that's hideous. Ain't you sick of it? That's a picture you living in. Ain't no sitting and chillin', we getting paid while poverty stricken niggas are looking at us like villains. Like ain't no S on my chest. The way I'm saving these bitches for entertainment, they only keeping me sane. They knowing that love is not in my dictionary. Give me my credit cause I ain't falling for shit that they tellin'. I be looking through it, you can call me a visionary. They saying money coming with problems, I got a lot of them. Even then I never think I'm getting right to it enough. Acting like I do not give a fuck cause I do not give a fuck. You taught me how to keep my feelings tough. This'll never be the same, shit is different now. No. You been acting different now. You say this a marathon, you don't want us giving out. Silly me for thinking you can stick around. You know how it goes, shit to go around and come around. Yeah. Either way, I'm still around. Where you think you're going, really thinking that you moving on. Silly rabbit, you know you won't find a nigga that's better, I'm one of a kind. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about how I barely be fully proving myself. I'm fighting demons and no, I ain't saying it just to say it, I really mean it. I ain't the type to tell you I'm back on my bully mode. I show you my shitting on niggas never was problematic. Swear that they bitches making it easy, I'm thinking we playing catch. The way that they steady throwing they cookie at me, you know they looking at me. They only watching to see me fail. I'm turning my living hell to wish it wells. Nobody wish you well, nobody wanna see you prevail. Until you really prevail, they pulling up to your crib expecting for you to help. As soon as you tell them no, they praying you go to hell. Guess it's the shit I need, to be honest. You wouldn't fuck with me if I wasn't conceited a dream and I'm working to it. I'd really be going through it. This'll never be the same, shit is different now. Yeah. You been acting different now. You say this a marathon, you don't want us giving out. Silly me for thinking you can stick around. You know how it goes, shit to go around and come around. Yeah. Either way, I'm still around. Where you think you're going, really thinking that you moving on.
Yes, we like that. So was those one of the songs that you stepped out of your comfort zone? It sounds like it was.
Definitely was.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's what I figured. So
Yeah.
if you could perform this album anywhere in the world, it don't matter where it is, where would you want to perform it at?
That's a good question. Definitely like someplace like the Grammys or some shit, or the Super Bowl. I feel like if I get that type of exposure, it's a wrap for the game.
Jesus, you gonna act a whole fool.
What?
You gonna act? I'm gonna be like,
You know it, boy. I'm being patient till my time comes. You feel me? I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. Speak
It's all
it.
about when.
Speak it. So, to you, what makes a good studio session?
You said what?
What makes a good studio session?
What makes a good studio session is vibes. Vibes is number one on that. Like it gotta be a good vibe in that room because I've had all types of people like this is part of that I don't like it's only a limited amount of people where I ask to go to the studio with and record the song with them. Like people like Abstract. And he's probably one of the only people I do that with now. But vibes simply because the way people like if half the music fans knew how shit go down in the studio, I promise you they'll get a whole different like perception and feeling towards the song. Simply because like it was just one song I did. It was called Decided. and somebody was supposed to be on that song with me, and he came there and recorded it with me, but like the energy was just off. Like it's like I'm sitting up here vibing like this, and you just real like monotone, and that's just how he is. Nothing against him, that's just how he is. But when it comes to his music, he comes off as a different person, like in a positive way. But it's like, you know how when certain vibrations tend to like feed off of your own, so it's like you just hella like mellow and shit. You really had me in here hella mellow, and I won't deliver how I want to deliver type of thing. So that was definitely a one. And I think besides Abstract, it was only two other people on the song. Both those songs, we didn't record it together. I just sent it to them and they sent it back. So I don't know how they are in the studio. Like the way they sound on the song is great. You feel me? But I wonder how the vibe would be type. Because if the vibe is different from how they sound, the whole song would come off way different than how it sounds on the album. Like you wouldn't feel the energy like how you did on the album type of thing.
Okay. So even though you have three favorite songs besides Irregular,
Mm-hmm.
what are 3 songs that you would want to perform, or is it the same 3?
It's definitely not the same 3. One song I would perform is Glocks, which is the last song on the album. That song we went stupid on that. And I'm like, I just feel like if we would have performed that, that's a turn up. Like that's a huge turn up. Everybody gonna be turning up for that as we perform. I feel like when it comes to performances, it's more so like people tend to overlook the presence of the crowd, because like the crowd plays a huge role in it. Like if they're not feeling it, you can be as turned up as you want on that stage, but if they're not feeling it, they're not feeling it. And if they're not feeling it, it's going like you're just not going to feel it yourself as you perform. So I feel like that song is definitely going to be one. Another one, I have to be in like a different type of atmosphere, like a different type of crowd has to like mess with that. And that's okay, Lonely Interlude, definitely, because that song, I just feel like that song gotta be heard type of thing. That song gotta be heard. And the other one is On Me Interlude. Like all of my interviews, that's when I feel like I tap into it, like the deepest part of me type of thing. So definitely all like both of my interviews definitely got to be performed, just because of the simple fact that people need to hear it. And it is a vibe too. It's not necessarily like dry or like the type of song you can only hear when you're like down or something like that. It's a song you could definitely listen to if you feel like using it as a motivation for the rest of the day, for just the day. Like you wake up on the bad side, you bump my shit, and you be like, you feel me? This probably get you through the day. Like, if you the type to live your life one day at a time, like type of thing like that. So yeah.
So I saw on your story, yes, I be snooping. You know I be snooping because I be looking. So yesterday you posted on your story this little snippet, this little R&B snippet. And I was like, wow, I really do like that snippet. And I was so, are we hearing that on the next album? Like, what's going on with that one?
You definitely want to hear that on the next album. Like that vibe is too crucial. You definitely want to hear it. Definitely. But my thing is, I was thinking about taking it for myself, but I wanted to see. It was me trying to explore the other talents of Baltimore type of thing. So that's why I posted it. I was like, who else is on? Who do you think could be best fit on that type of thing? I'm still getting responses for it now, but I kind of was looking at on a singer, like from a singer perspective, because that one I didn't want it to just be straight up bars or straight up rapping, because the beat is too much of a vibe to just limit it to just rapping type of thing. So even if it means I come in on the first verse or whatever, somebody can come sing a hook or something like that. I just feel like that beat is too much of a vibe to just limit the potential of it type of thing.
It is, because I really do like that. So I hope you find someone.
Yeah.
So
if I fuck around singing myself, I'll sing by myself.
Okay. I'm not. If you think you wouldn't miss out these streets, then go ahead. I'm with it.
Right.
All that.
That's all you had to say.
One man show. He got this. All this. So, did any new opportunities come up when you released your project, or was everything just like still the same, sort of, kind of?
That's a good question. I feel like feel like when it comes to like music, shit can happen out of nowhere. Like, and one thing I learned is to never expect something, because like it goes down to like just the simple fact that like you meeting your favorite artist and you be disappointed based off his personality because he don't sound like how he don't like come off or seem like how he songs. Like, and that's an expectation I never want to like be let down at all, just because of how much respect I have for them based off their music alone. So when it comes to expectations, I don't expect nothing. I just do my thing, and when it happens, it happens. But I've definitely felt like I've definitely had more listeners and stuff like that, more streams. Like when I dropped it the first night, it did 1,000 streams on Spotify that night alone. Yeah, alone. So that was good for me. But yeah, it was just more so me not. I don't even think in that type of limelight. I just don't expect nothing. And when it does happen, I'm like, okay, that's great. But if it doesn't happen and I expect it, I'm gonna be so let down. I might fuck around and it might fuck around and dent my courage, my confidence, and I might just like not even want to make music for like another month or some shit. So it's like I don't want to think like that.
Well, I'm glad it did it because this last song, this is my last song.
Yeah.
I love this song. I dance to it and everything. And I had to put the music video out there on it because people let us see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the last song again we're gonna listen to Irregular featuring Abstract. We're gonna play that right now.
Right.
Well, I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm gonna get real weird with it. Meanwhile, block the wind. I'm gonna roast this bone.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yo, that intro be getting me every time. Keeping it down.
This ain't no regular shit.
No.
Ain't nothing shaky with this, man, you know it's legit. I don't shake hands, I'm too busy shaking off demons, gotta believe me. Name me a better man, ain't too many out here that can understand. Yeah. Put up a couple bands, you gon' find out who really your brother, man. Yeah. Turn up a little bit, let me show you how loaded your ceiling is. Got all my feelings and stuck to the money, the only thing that I've been feeling for. Niggas got problems with being a problem, no wonder we never be similar. Nobody over here second place, I don't care if you talk about 10 of us. Didn't your homie just pass away? Ain't no secret, we know that you set him up. Why you think I like to stay alone? Cause you never go wrong when you stay alone. Too many niggas ain't shit alone. When they with all these niggas, they play along. Had to learn that this killer be killed in the industry. They blow your head on the city streets. This ain't nothing, I fucked on Lil' Shorty and ducked her cause she forgot this was a sneaky link. How you think you gon' drag on a dragger? I thought you was smarter, come on with the silly shit. Shit really cinematic, how we moving, we turning into a movie. Everyone say that I'm moving funny, LOL, but I'm really just getting to it. I ain't the type to just talk about it, be about it, no need to be ratatouille. Nigga, we really don't gotta prove it. Lately my shorty been pushing buttons. Talk about to the end, she be single if she listen to her friends, yeah. We took a major loss, that's the moment the boys really turned them in. Nobody here fucking with my pen, underrated is really my middle name. You ain't heavy at all, you too little, man. Man, I'm doing whatever it takes, even if it means ending it all just to ease the pain. It's a bitter game, yeah, it's a bitter game. This ain't no regular shit, yeah. Ain't nothing shaky with this, man, you know it's legit. I don't shake hands, I'm too busy shaking off demons, gotta believe me. Name me a better man, ain't too many out here that can understand. Put up a couple bands, you gon' find out who really your brother, man.
Shorty, she all on my dick cause she like what I do when I stunt. I ain't been hitting my butt, I just might break in your house, I'ma come for the front. Grammy gon' fly in the back, it's a scary sight when you see both of us in black. Pushing music like it's crack, I just say whatever, bitch, I don't know how to act for real. Talk to your shorty like, how do you feel? How did you get a little baby a meal? She is way out of your league, I told her do the banana, he finna get peeled. Chopped up, niggas might fuck around with the block up. 1 minute I'm dead, 1 minute I'm here. I come and go like a pop-up, so you better watch out when you run in your mouth. I mean what I say, I don't say it for clout. Living with hood, took all the water. Now that pussy nigga stuck in the drought. Like what he gon' do about it? Took his bitch and might buy her a new body. Got her phone going crazy, it's too sloppy. Got these niggas telling me to calm down, calm down. Nah, I am too rowdy like the rebel. I am not complacent, I do not settle for shit. I'ma keep making these hits. I got way too many balls for me to ever quit, so shut it up. Ain't nobody like me, I am one-on-one. I'm a superhero nigga, done. I am equal to none. Let me hop off before I catch me a body, I'm done.
This ain't no regular shit. Ain't nothing shaky with this, man, you know it's legit. I don't shake hands, I'm too busy shaking off demons, gotta believe me. Name me a better man, ain't too many out here that can understand. Yeah. Put up a couple bands, you gon' find out who really your brother, man.
Yes. That's really my song. As soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, I like this vibe right here. This one.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Abstract. You are amazing. He bodied it. I see why you had to match that because he was like
Yeah, I was like, bro, ain't no way I'm not ready. You feel me? He bodied the other song too. He's on another song on Killer Be Killed. He bodied that too.
shout out to Abstract, man. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all did y'all thing. Two more questions. So, do you have any skills that you don't feel that are useful to you? If so, why?
Any skills that I don't feel like is useful to me, like in life in general or music?
Music, life, it doesn't matter.
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
Oh, you just perfect. Okay, I get it.
I don't know.
You just perfect.
No, I'm not perfect or nothing, but I don't know. Like I don't even feel like I feel like my only main skill is music. Like okay, here's one. My nonchalantness is one. Like, I wish I wasn't so nonchalant. Like that's like definitely I don't know. It might be a red flag to some people, but me, I try to care sometimes, but sometimes I just don't have it in me. Especially when it comes to like I feel like it's a good thing and a bad thing because when I use it for good, it's like when people try to like get the best of me, and I just be like, bro, like I promise you're not gonna get the reaction you want. I feel like that's another thing that's gonna help me get far in music in general because you know how music as a whole is all about publicity and just like image, like you forget everything else. So I'm just like I've already put myself in scenarios where like somebody try to diss me on a song or diss me on something like that, and everybody feeding off of that shit, and you not hearing a word from me about it, like nothing. Like for me to come out my way to dish you, I'm gonna use that same energy to put it towards myself and my music, and watch it come out harder than it was before, type of thing. I feel like that's how it's good, but how it's bad is that I've definitely lost like severed a lot of relationships with that, like relationship wise, people wise in general. Like I don't be allowing myself to care because if I do allow myself to care, what if they fuck that up? What if they disappoint me? So I'd much rather be on like my 10 toes with the balls up all around me than to like even if I do care, I'm not going to show it unless I feel like it's useful, which usually it's not because at the end of the day, people are just people. Like they're great people, but they're like they can disappoint type of thing. So I don't like not let that affect me type of thing.
Well, one more question on some inspirational type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, what is some advice you can give to someone else, whether it's life, whether it's music? What advice can you give?
I would say don't quit, but that's so cliche. Like everybody say that. So what I would say is that once you find yourself, always capitalize. Like never like if you give 100% today, give 120% tomorrow, and then give 140% the next day. Just always capitalize. Always like elevate every chance, every second you get, because there's nothing better than being better than when you were yesterday. Nothing is better than that. Like you could be the same. That's consistency. You feel me? But would you rather be consistent or would you rather grow? Like which one would you rather do? And I feel like whichever answer you choose just tells you about you. Type of thing.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the screen for Grammy. You know what I'm saying? He's about to do a lot. You can see he about to blow up. And
Yeah, ain't nothing to that.
hopefully I'll be here to witness it because I'll be like, I know him. I know him. I
You know,
did
this is
it.
my first podcast ever, so you got that honor. Like,
Oh, thank you. I'm so
you got
blessed.
that honor.
That's what I do this for. That's what I do.
Facts.
So I'm glad I could be the first.
Yeah.
No one's
Hopefully the
top.
first of many, hopefully.
It is. I think you'll do good on the podcast. You did good on this one. A lot of people like you. I've got a text. I was looking. It was like, oh my gosh, I like him.
Appreciate that.
Yes. So thank you for coming on to the show. I wish you the best of luck with everything that you do. You are doing a shit ton. I miss you. Yes.
You too. You're doing good too. I see how you popping out here with your podcast. This is a real good platform. Like it really is. Like we need more people like you.
Don't make me proud of my own platform.
Nah, we really do. We really do. Like
don't do that to me. Don't do that. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you. You guys are amazing. You know what it is. If you want to be on my podcast, if you're a singer or a rapper, I don't care what you are. If you play the banjo, I don't care. If you want to be on this platform, you know you need to DM me at I am.Monique Wilson on Instagram. If you want to promote your business or whatever, I don't care what you promote, you know, you can always DM me at I am.Monique Wilson. Make sure to tune in and stream whatever his album, Pressure You Can't Smoke. Make sure you tune that in. Another surprise, my EP will be coming out shortly. I'm not going to say nothing about it, but just know it'll be coming to you shortly, hopefully July. Fingers crossed. Thank you once again, Grammy, for being on the show. Thank you. And good night to everybody. Good night.